Welcome to 21st Sports, and we're talking about Matt Forte and his future in Chicago. Will Matt Forte be with the Bears in 2016? And Forte, of course, went down with an MCL sprain. That's not too serious of an injury, but in his absence, Jeremy Langford has had some pretty big games. He's had 324 yards from scrimmage in the last 2 weeks. As he's been looking a lot like Forte, fitting right into that system. Is the offense in Chicago is centralized on Matt Forte. It goes through Forte, whether it be him running out of the backfield or coming out of the backfield to catch passes. Is he's put up some pretty big numbers in his career as a Chicago Bear. Of course, he was drafted back in 2008 in the second round with the 44th pick overall by Chicago. And in his time as a Bear, which he's only been a Bear, he has 12,198 yards from scrimmage and 60 total touchdowns. He's also made the Pro Bowl in 2011 and 2013. Of course, his rookie year, he had 12 touchdowns. Also in 2013, he had 12 touchdowns. And last year, he had 10 touchdowns. And his two best seasons were 2013 and 2014. Of course, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. He's 30 years old, and he's already played twice that of the average expectancy for a running back in the NFL. So he's already had almost 2 careers. And will he have a third chapter of his career outside of Chicago? Well, that's the question. And according to the Chicago Sun-Times, they interviewed him and they were asking him about just that, of course, because that's the thing that's on the minds and on the tongues of the fans, as everybody's talking about this in sports talk land. But here's what Forte had to say. He said, "The fans are the fans. The NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. I've been out a few games and Jeremy has done well stepping in for me. So everybody is always looking for the next best thing. With me being in my contract here, it's obvious that that's the storyline that will come up. Chicago is kind of like that. We'll see you later, Matt." I'm like, man, I've been going on 8 years. Y'all just gonna throw me to the side like that? But that's the nature of the NFL, and I don't mind. I will play wherever I end up after that. End quote. And so he also actually went on to say, "I've got to play it smart." And this is in reference to him playing on Sunday because he practiced on Wednesday but did not practice Thursday. Of course, part of that had to do with the Thursday practice being outside and on the turf, which is tougher on those MCL sprains, that type of injury there in the legs. Of course, that's in the knee. But he said, "I got to play it smart. Say I play Sunday and get banged up a little bit. Thursday's a really quick turnaround, so I have to talk with the head trainer and coach about that." And he said, back in reference to the situation in the backfield in Chicago, "I'm not really worried about it because I'll be a free agent at the end of the year. I can continue my career no matter what happens." So from his words, of course, it doesn't look like it's something that's going to affect his play in any way, shape, or form or become a problem in the locker room. He's taking a very logical approach to this, not getting emotional about it. Although I could see where that would kind of bug you if, putting in all that work and to have people not be loyal to you. But that, like he said, that's the NFL. And either way, he's going to be all right because he even said, "I will play wherever I end up after that." Sounds like he's already in his mind moved on from the Windy City. Also, "I can continue my career no matter what happens," and referencing that he'll be a free agent at the end of the year. And I'll tell you, I think Forte still has plenty to offer any team, and I think that Matt Forte would be an improvement to any team's roster. Now, it could end up being a situation where it works out the best for both. It could be the best for Chicago to move on to Jeremy Langford. It could also, be the best thing for Matt Forte as well, as he could end up being with a team where he doesn't necessarily have to carry as much of the load, as he's really been, like I said, the focal point of that Chicago offense in his time with the Bears, as he's been the most productive Chicago Bear over the time since 2008, and really especially over the last 3 years, as the offense really does go through Matt Forte, and he puts up the numbers regardless, whether it is, on the ground, where he's had 4 seasons, actually 5 seasons, where he rushed for over 1,000 yards, and each season he's had over 1,400 total yards from scrimmage, as his lowest total from scrimmage was 1,434 yards, and that was in 2012. But if you look overall, you look at 2008 when he came in as a rookie, he had 1,715 yards and 12 touchdowns. Then 2009, 1,500 yards and 4 touchdowns. In 2010, he had 1,616 total yards and 9 total touchdowns. In 2011, 1,487 yards and 4 touchdowns. These are all total numbers. And then in 2012, 1,434 with 6 touchdowns. And then his best season was in 2013. He made the Pro Bowl for the second time, the first time being in 2011. But in 2013, 1,933 yards from scrimmage and 12 total touchdowns. And then 2014, he came right back with another big season, as all his seasons have really been big seasons. But in 2014, 1,846 total yards and 10 touchdowns. And this season already, he has 767 total yards and 3 touchdowns, even having missed the last 2 games. So he is well on his way to having another big year. As I said, he's the focal point of their offense. But of course, Jeremy Langford coming in now. Is Langford a long-term solution? Will he be able to continue to pick up where he left off and replace Forte? Stepping into that system, it's actually, the system's structured around Forte, so Langford's benefiting from the groundwork that has been laid by Forte since 2008. And that offense, of course, Fox is now the coach, so you get the new coach and everything in there. So, but that's still, regardless, the offense goes through Forte no matter who's the coach, no matter what's the scheme, even with the different coaches, even with the different coordinators. Forte is the guy who's recognized as being the most talented player on the offense in Chicago, and it's been that way since he's been a Bear. Now, of course, being a running back, that's a position that really doesn't inspire loyalty by GMs and organizations in the NFL. If you look at, just to name a couple, on the offensive side of the ball, you have Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona as a receiver, and Tom Brady, a quarterback in New England. So you don't really have running backs that stay with the same team for their whole career. It's pretty rare. Usually running backs, if they're good, they're going to move on. Even you look at Emmitt Smith with the Cowboys, you would have never thought he would have played for another team, but then he ended up in Arizona, just like Chris Johnson, who was one of the best in his prime as well, and then he ended up in Arizona as well. Will Forte end up in Arizona? That's a possibility. I said any team would improve their roster by adding Matt Forte. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think Matt Forte is done in Chicago? Should he be? Should the Bears bring him back, or should they let him go in free agency off to another team? And do you think that Forte is going to have success elsewhere outside of Chicago? Will he even be more successful potentially with another team? And if he does move on to another team, which it does look like that's going to be the case, will he end up making it to the playoffs? And potentially, does he have a chance of going to a team and getting a Super Bowl championship? That could be in the cards for Matt Forte. There's plenty of teams that could use a running back around the league, especially a running back as talented as him, who he represents a dual threat, as he's just as dangerous to catch the ball out of the backfield as he is when he's running the ball. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day, and having a good week and have a great weekend and enjoy all the sports.